So what is your motivation for change? I know I've made several significant changes in my life recently. The last couple of years have just been riddled with change. Not not scary at all. Not scary at all. Like absolutely terrifying some of these changes. But we're here. We've survived. We've made it. But I want to talk about motivation for change and when we're making changes in our life, where is that coming from? Are we doing it for ourselves? Are we doing it for other people? And how are we staying accountable for the things we say we want to do? Specifically, this kind of might start out as weight loss focused, but it could be applicable to just about anything, like any change that we want to make. And so this is coming from seeing some kind of the relationship between some clients and some trainers. And the motivation for the client, actually, no, let me not say that way. A lot of the times, a client will want accountability. So, and this is kind of human nature. Like, we need someone to hold, most of us need someone to hold us accountable to actually stay on plan or stay on target for this change or this thing that we say that we want. So if we say we want to lose 15 pounds and we want to start working out, so we're going to go to the gym 3 times a week for 3 months. And by doing that, our goal is to lose 15 pounds and we're going to gain muscle and lose fat. Most of us would want someone to hold us accountable to say, okay, you said you're going to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Are you going to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Okay, did you actually work out in the gym or did you go to the gym and sit and watch people work out? Like, we want people to hold us accountable because sometimes it's just easier for someone to hold us accountable. Like, self-accountability can be hard. I admit that. So it's helpful to have kind of the extra push. But what happens when we say we want the accountability, so we want that person to like help us push and stay on course and like actually lose the weight or make the change? What happens when it becomes conditional? And what I mean by that is if someone says, I'm going to help you, but I'm going to do this other thing, and then we'll make this shift together. So it's almost like you feeling guilty or some sense of obligation to show up to complete your goal because this other person is also doing a similar goal or something else. So it's like, I'll do this if you do that. I'll do this if you do that. So it's very conditional. It's not, okay, we're doing it for the fun of it. I'm doing it for the health benefit. I'm doing this because, my life depends on it. Like, it's very conditional. I'm doing this because you're doing this. And because you see me making this sacrifice for you, then that's going to make you more accountable and keep you on course. How does that feel? If someone says, I'm doing this for you, so therefore you need to lose the weight, or you need to, I'm sacrificing, so therefore it's going to be easier for you to sacrifice to lose the weight. Now, mind you, I've talked about what are you gaining when you lose weight instead of what are you losing when you lose weight. Like, you're losing pounds, but you're gaining so much more. You aren't losing really anything, like an old identity maybe. But seeing the the dynamics and the kind of the relationship between these trainers and these clients was really interesting because I thought of all of the times where someone has said they are sacrificing for me, or I myself said I would sacrifice something of myself in order for someone else to like stay accountable or to benefit or whatever it was. I didn't realize what I was doing in that moment. I didn't realize it was a conditional relationship, one. But I didn't realize what I was doing in that moment. And I would question whether any of us know what we're really doing in that moment, because standing back as an observer, to me that feels very, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like the basis of a really strong, solid relationship. If it's particularly, you need strong, you need trust, you need solid, you need free communication, like you need all of those things in a good coach-client, trainer-client relationship. Like you need all of those things. And kind of the guilt, the shame, the I'm sacrificing for you, I'm doing this for you, so therefore you need to do, like it's very transactional. It's just the condition around that, the foundation upon which that relationship is built. For me, that doesn't feel good. But in the spirit of accountability, I know sometimes it does help to see someone go through something, so therefore you will go through something. So you both can be accountable to one another, and you both can then have some sort of journey towards a goal together. And then you get to double celebrate because you both achieve your goal in the end. So I understand that. But coming from an energetic perspective, because I got to spin that in there, the guilt, the shame, the sacrifice, the obligation, the transactional nature. So to me, that does not feel genuine. And that isn't something that I would do with my clients. I've never done that, and nor will I ever do that with my clients. Say, I've done this for you, so therefore you need to do this for me. I mean, if it's some sort of energy exchange for our time together, maybe. But going to some sort of drastic measure to prove to someone that, I'm willing to do something, so therefore you should be too. I don't know. In my book, maybe that's not as effective. I know I have said there are things that I've asked clients to do that seem a little out there, but I wouldn't ask a client to do something that I haven't already tried and or heard great beneficial things about. So, if I'm working with someone, I definitely, if I'm going to say something like recommend an exercise or recommend a journal prompt or recommend an experience, it's because, hey, I've received some benefit from it. I know others who have received some benefit from it. This is something that you could benefit from, and you could try it to see if you also receive benefit. That feels more genuine. It feels more expansive to me, and it also feels there isn't any obligation to the client, because the choice is on the client to try it. Now, if you're in a position where you want to make a change, you're going to step out of your comfort zone and you're going to make a change. That's generally how that goes. But I don't know. I was just seeing the dynamics between that in a coach-client, trainer-client relationship. Just didn't sit well with me. But it also really reminds me of all the times where we put conditions on all of the relationships that we have in our lives. Tit for tat. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. I'll support your business if you support mine. I'll, hire you to do something if you hire me to do something. I'll attend your event if you attend my event. Like, there's very the conditional nature of it doesn't feel to me like it's coming from a kind of in service giving non-attachment type of place. When there's condition, there is attachment. And when there is attachment, I don't know. I just don't feel like you have as much possibility. The outcome feels fixed. It doesn't feel as flowy and expansive. My vocabulary is not working with me right now, but that's okay. I think you get my point. So, what is our motivation? That's kind of how this all started. What is our motivation when we're embarking upon a change? And how are we staying accountable to ourselves and whoever we said we would make the change to? How are we staying accountable to those people? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Is it accountability buddy via sacrifice? Or is it literally you're just two friends, doing a workout program together? What is your mode, your method of accountability? Is your motivation, is it internal or is it external? So intrinsic versus extrinsic. What is it? I've talked about your why. Like, what is the why behind what you're doing? So being really clear on those things is really important when you want to make a change and you're starting a journey with any sort of change, whether it's weight loss or starting a new career or, moving to a new city, like anything. Big change requires new action, big action, some accountability. How are you getting that accountability? And why are you changing them in the first place? All of those questions matter. All of those matter. And they can help in making your process as smooth or as rough as possible.